first, who is in Florida by way of Hawaii. But Paul, you're up with Joe Roberts.
Oh man, Joe, thank you so much for your time. This has been incredible. I just want to share something really quick. This really hit me because my dad was a drug addict who passed away when I was 17. So hearing that story was really powerful. I kind of have a two-part question, so I'll be kind of quick. So you talk a lot about possibility, and Impossible Equals Impossible is a show that I kind of created to inspire people to chase their potential instead of accepting their reality. I'm kind of curious for you, what do you think it is that really takes people from impossible to I'm possible? We hear a lot about purpose, why Ben Newman talks about this idea of embrace the burn. I'm curious, like, what do you think that is in your experience?
Well, my experience, and it is just my experience, there's so many different spokes into this same sort of idea. For me, it was like for years, my life, it's like I lived in a house with dirty windows. My light didn't get out, the light out there didn't get in. And so it was a leader. It was people like Gus. And it wasn't just Gus, it was Gus. It was my mom. It was those college teachers. It was my first boss who had a belief in me and held a place for that possibility for me. And by creating that space, it allowed me to enter into it, to encourage me. Now, I'm not saying to be soft and mollycoddle. It's that separation, challenge support the person, but challenge the behavior. And I think that I was fortunate to be around. Yeah, the timing was good. I was willing to do those things. I also understand, and I teach this in one of my workshops, we can do everything right. Our 50% can be perfect. But at the end of the day, the other person has to be 50% accountable as well. So as a parent, I know I can do my best job, but my daughter, she has to show up. So I don't know. I think that it's about trying to navigate for kids. What are you passionate about? What do you like? What pisses you off? What do you see in the world that you want to change? Because oftentimes, when you look at the push for change and the stuff, there was a lot of things that I was discontented about in how our country, not just Canada, the United States, how they approach some of these issues. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And then, the coaching on that is just take a little step. You don't have to wait till you're ready. A lot of times when you start something big, you're in the fog. We had 27 show-stopping problems in the push for change. 27 that would have stopped the campaign. And we had to continue moving for years, having some of these unresolved. So it's having that faith in your possibility and continuing to move forward. So it's having, I don't know if that answers the question.
No, yeah, that was powerful. And then the other question, really quick, is you're one of the top keynote speakers in the world. And I read your LinkedIn profile. You talk about delivering lifelong, lasting messages when you keynote. I'm kind of curious, what would you share with someone who's aspiring to get to that level in terms of doing that?
It's difficult unless I knew the person, right? Because it would be different instructions depending on where that individual is at. But practice. In the beginning, I did everything. I did Toastmasters and Rotary clubs. I went anywhere that there was a live microphone. I spoke in schools. I spoke in detoxes. I spoke in recovery meetings. I would go anywhere to speak. There was a decade where I wasn't being monetized for what I do. And then I surround myself around people who are doing it. The cool thing about the speaking business is you can go to, not to promote an association, but you can go to an NSA or you can go to these places. You can get a coach. You can build relationships. People are pretty open, I found, in speaking, coaching, thought leadership, to share their ideas. It's different. It's not like lawyers or dentists. It's like, yeah, I'll talk to you. I'll tell you what I did for what it's worth. And But I think the last thing is you really have to want it. A lot of people have a romantic notion of what it's like to be on stage in front of 1,000 people. And they don't think about having to sleep at the Super 8 and not get any sleep and have your flight canceled. I absolutely love what I do, not because of the standing ovation, because it's my greatest leverage point as a leader to have an impact in this world. I don't need to work. I haven't needed to work for 20 years. I get up and I endure all of that crap because I can stand in front of 1,000 police chiefs and actually impact communities, teaching something to them. So if you're not fully in love with it, if you're in love with it for different reasons, you might run into some challenges and roadblocks down the line.
Wow, that was powerful. Thank you so much. I've taken away that obsession is the next level of discipline. So thank you.